Hi, my name is Donna Shea, and I'm a social emotional learning specialist in Massachusetts. I'm doing a video on anger today. We did a couple on anxiety around the current state of the pandemic that we've been having. And anxiety is really prevalent, but I'm also noticing within the last week or so that there's definitely an uptick in not only my own anger, but just in being on the recipient end of it or being on the giving end of it. So there's definitely other emotions going on besides anxiety. So some people have said they found these videos helpful, so I'm happy to make them. They help me remember what I'm supposed to be doing too. So I have a short presentation to share with you. Let me just share the screen here. All right. So if you're feeling angry about what's going on with the pandemic and everything that else that's going on in the world, that is definitely a normal emotion. It's natural to feel frustrated or angry right now. Life has completely unstabilized us, and there are so many things beyond our control, including the kids aren't going to school, economics, not being allowed to visit friends and family. So that's definitely something that can certainly set off frustration and anger. We're separated from each other, and human beings are naturally social creatures. So with the social distancing and not being able to see each other, that is a problem for most of us. Or on the flip side, we're not separated enough from each other, and families are home together, and everybody's getting on each other's nerves. So that can be a source of stress too. We may be taking all of these negative things out on each other and finding ourselves more irritable and snappish, wanting to be left alone, or upset that other people want us to leave them alone. And we might be taking it out on people we don't even know, either in person, such as at the, being short with the cashier at the grocery store, or flipping somebody off when you're out driving, or online. There's a lot of anger out there online on social media, and we're taking out so many things on each other. We can't seem to disagree civilly in many cases, and there's just so much stress going on in the world that we're demonstrating towards each other. We might be turning that anger in on ourselves a little bit. There's stress eating going on. People are joking about it on social media, but it is a thing that is happening. Lack of exercise combined with that, and we're not taking care of our health very well while we're worried about our health. Feeling hopeless or stuck, like this may never end, things may never change. Berating ourselves, getting on ourselves for having these negative feelings. So beating yourself up for not being positive, or beating yourself up for not feeling great on any given day. I remember feeling really angry this past week, and I'm typically a pretty positive person, but so much positive stuff in social media, like be grateful for this and silver linings, and it's awesome. And typically I would feel that way, but this particular week it wasn't working for me. I just needed to feel what I was feeling, but I was getting on myself, like, why can't I feel positive? Because I didn't, and that's okay. And then we go out and we exacerbate our negative feelings with too much social media and too much negativity and too much difficult news. So the bad stuff isn't going to help us feel any better. It's not, when I teach kids about anger management, it's not the anger that is the problem. It's how we're managing the anger that becomes the problem. So communicating how we are feeling. You yell, you scream, you slam doors, you throw stuff, whatever it is. At the end of that adult tantrum, or at the end of that adult argument, you're still going to have the same problem you had before the whole thing started. So you haven't really done anything or accomplished anything. You would accomplish things by communicating how you're feeling. Like, I'm feeling really stressed out right now. I need a little space. I feel really frustrated because I left the house clean and then I come back and it's all messed up again. Whatever it is that you are feeling, you want to say it from this I statement type of a thing. Don't tell each other what you should and shouldn't feel. That we shouldn't feel anger, that we shouldn't feel negative. I had that discussion with my significant other the other night, where I was in a really grouchy, angry, sad place. And he kept telling me it was going to be okay and I shouldn't be feeling that way. And he couldn't understand why I wasn't my positive self and all of that. And I just said to him, I really need for you to understand and for you to empathize right now that I'm just not in that place, and I need to feel my sad and I need to feel my anger. And he finally understood that, you know, but I needed to communicate to him that what I was feeling was my feeling and it was okay. Ask if someone just needs to vent. So if someone's, you know, having a difficult time or yelling and screaming or just complaining, ask them if they need to vent or if they want your help before jumping in to offer advice. 'Cause we're so quick to jump in and tell people what they should do or what we think they should do. Sometimes they just want us to listen and allow them the space to talk about what it is they want to talk about. One of the techniques that we teach the kids in anger management is to stop, drop, and roll your way through a potential fight or a potential argument. So how that works is putting out a fire. You stop responding to the person, and you could just say, "Hey, I need a few minutes, right? Or I need to take a break." Drop the subject if necessary. If you know things aren't going anywhere, you're not getting any solutions, just temporarily drop the subject and learn to roll your way through this stuff. Not everything has to be a fight. A great statement for rolling through things is maybe you're right. I use that with kids a lot who get stuck and rigid, because if you say maybe you're right to the other person, it allows space for both of you to potentially be right, and then no one's giving in, which is why a lot of people argue, because they want to have their own way. We need to blow off that internal heat or steam that's, you know, kind of bubbling up there. A great way to do it is, of course, to exercise and vigorously, whichever form of exercise works for you. Go for a drive. You can still get alone in your car and listen to music. Classical music or music without lyrics can be, it's scientifically said to be a little bit more soothing than music that has lyrics. If they're, dance it out, draw it out, cook it out, clean it out, garden it out, paint it out, any activity that is personally soothing for you. Just say, hey, I'm going to go do this for an hour or whatever until you calm down and you can revisit what was ever was going on. Give other people space when they request it. If you're having a fight with somebody, don't follow them around the house and continue the argument. Give them the space if they're asking for it, or if you can sense that someone needs it. It's all right to give people space or to ask for space. Apologize or forgive when it's needed, and it's probably needed a little bit more often right now than, you know, usual. So if you snap at or take your anger out on somebody, apologize. You know, I'm sorry. I didn't mean, you know, or did mean it, or I didn't mean it, or whatever. But definitely, how you do an apology? You apologize for what you did. You be sincere, and you know, you tell them that it won't happen again. And I tell kids an apology is only as good as the change that comes behind it. If you apologize and then do the same thing, then you're not really sorry. We should be a little bit more forgiving of each other right now. We're all in this spot together. We all feel crappy, and making a little bit more room for human misbehavior would be a good thing for us right now. Because you know what? We're all going to be okay in a few weeks when this is over. We're going to be okay. So let's also still be family and friends.